at that splash! There is absolutely nothing like the pure, uncontained joy of kids launching themselves right into a village pond. In rural India, especially during the warm and humid months, these water bodies naturally fill up and become the ultimate neighborhood hangout spots. No entrance fees, no concrete lanes, and no lifeguards blowing whistles, just raw, unfiltered freedom. It instantly makes you realize how little you actually need to have a genuinely good time. Sometimes, when you're stuck in endless city traffic or staring at a glowing screen for the 10th hour in a row, modern life can feel so incredibly heavy. We get so wrapped up in strict schedules, alarms, and paying for expensive gym memberships or crowded indoor pools just to find a tiny slice of recreation. We literally try to squeeze our joy into booked 45-minute slots. Then you see a moment like this, and it just completely resets your perspective. Out here, joy isn't something you have to schedule in advance. When the afternoon heat rolls in, these kids don't wait around for an internet connection or beg for a trip to a fancy commercial water park. They just run down to the dirt bank, leave their worries and sandals behind, and take the leap. The sheer sound of that laughter hitting the water is enough to wash away any stress you might be holding on to today. Watching them flip, paddle, and splash around without a single care in the world is the perfect reminder that life really doesn't have to be so complicated. While we might not all be able to run outside and dive into a river right now, just witnessing their carefree fun feels like a deep, refreshing breath of fresh air. It's a wonderful, gentle nudge to loosen up our rigid plans, stop overthinking everything, and just let a little bit of that spontaneous, barefoot freedom back into our everyday lives. You see those two guys putting their entire body weight into pushing that cart? That's what real, unfiltered hustle looks like. Here in rural India, we don't have massive air-conditioned grocery aisles on every corner. Instead, our fresh food comes right to our neighborhoods on these heavy wooden handcarts, known locally as thelas. It's entirely powered by human sweat and muscle. Pushing those iron-rimmed wheels through thick sand and uneven dirt roads is no joke, especially when the cart is loaded down with the morning's heavy harvest. But they do it every single day without a single complaint. It always makes me stop and appreciate the sheer human effort and dedication behind the simple food on our plates. Growing up in this village, you get to know the rhythm of the day not by looking at a clock, but by the sounds outside your window. You know the hum of the tractors, the chatter of the morning market, and the unmistakable rhythmic creak of the wooden thela wheels making their way down the dirt lane. That's Amit and his younger brother Suraj in the video. I was sitting on my front porch just the other morning when I saw them rolling by. You can see how incredibly heavy that cart is, piled high with vibrant green chilies, bright red tomatoes, and fresh bananas they bargained for at the wholesale market before the sun even thought about rising. I've known Amit since he was a kid running around these very streets in oversized sandals. When their father got too old and his knees couldn't handle the strain of pushing the cart anymore, Amit stepped up without a second of hesitation. And now young Suraj is right there beside him. Every time they pass my house, I make it a point to go out and buy something, even if my kitchen is already full of vegetables. Today, the dirt path was incredibly soft and sticky from the recent rains, making those heavy wheels sink deep into the mud. I watched them from a distance for a moment. Amit was guiding from the front, his shoulders tense with effort, while Suraj leaned his entire body weight against the back, pushing with everything he had. They didn't even have to speak to each other. They just knew exactly when to heave forward and when to pause for a breath. It's that silent, unbreakable bond you only see between brothers who are truly in the trenches together. When they finally parked near my gate to catch their breath, I quickly went inside and brought out 2 small glasses of sweet, piping hot chai. Amit took a sip, wiped the sweat from his forehead with the back of his hand, and gave me this big, exhausted, but completely genuine smile. Even while resting, his hands were busy meticulously arranging his vegetables, making sure the display looked perfect for the next customer. As we chatted, he proudly told me that Suraj had just passed his midterm exams with top marks in mathematics. Every single rupee they make from hauling this heavy cart through the village goes straight into keeping that boy in a good school, ensuring he has choices when he grows up. Suraj just looked down at his dusty feet, a little shy, but you could see the fierce pride and gratitude in his eyes for his older brother. I bought a heavy bag of potatoes and a bunch of fresh greens, paying a little extra and telling them to keep the change to buy some sweets to celebrate Suraj's grades. Watching them roll away down the road, their laughter echoing back to me, the cart somehow seemed just a little bit lighter. Life out here isn't always easy, and it certainly isn't glamorous. but there is a profound, quiet dignity in the way families take care of each other. Whenever I feel overwhelmed by my own daily problems, I think of Amit and Suraj pushing that heavy cart through the mud, not as a burden, but as a shared vehicle of hope for their family's future. It's a beautiful, everyday reminder that whatever heavy weight we have to carry in this life, it's always made easier when we have someone pushing right there beside us. Well, that brings us to the end of our little journey today. Watching these everyday moments unfold, from the quiet strength of the farmers to the pure joy of the kids splashing in the village pond, really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? It reminds us that no matter how fast or complicated the world gets, there are still places where life is lived at its own beautiful, unhurried pace rooted in family, hard work, and simple joys. I truly hope these glimpses into rural life brought a bit of peace and warmth to your day, wherever you might be watching from. Thank you so much for sitting down and sharing this time with me. Take a deep breath, hold on to that gentle feeling, and I'll see you in the next story. Take care of yourself!